I used to have a goat. Where did it go? It went to a family who really needed it. You see, giving a family an animal is like giving them a business. The wool, milk, eggs all turn into income for medicine, school, clothing, a better home, a sustainable livelihood. Soon, the family is passing on the gift of the animal's offspring to another family who does the same and on until the whole community is lifted out of poverty. That is where my goat went, and that's why you give to Heifer International.
The Jesus way,
oh, the Jesus way
is the way of peace.
Is the way of peace.
Oh, the Jesus way,
oh, the Jesus way
is the way of peace.
Is the way of peace.
Oh, the Jesus way is the way of peace. When He is King, all wars will cease. May His peace begin with me. I'm gonna beat my sword,
Gonna beat my sword
into a plow.
into a plow.
Gonna beat my sword,
Gonna beat my sword
into a plow.
into a plow.
Gonna beat my sword into a plow. Christ is King in my life now. May His peace begin with me. Oh, the Jesus
Hello.
way.
The year of 2020 has been a difficult one for so many people around the world. With the COVID-19 virus challenging our lives, the season of Christmas once again presents us with a question. What are we going to do about Christmas? Well, for many, it continues to be a matter of living one day at a time. We were given the example of reaching out to the least of these, and Brethren Voices encourages an alternative Christmas gift to someone who is in real need of life-giving assistance. With this program, we're going to give you several suggestions. One of our suggestions is an alternative Christmas gift to the Brethren Disaster Ministries Rebuild Program, which engages volunteers to rebuild and repair storm-damaged homes. Hurricanes and floods have ravaged our nation this year, and Brethren Disaster Ministries has reached out to assist some of those most vulnerable survivors. By putting their faith into action as they restore damaged homes, volunteers also restore broken lives. One of our earliest programs featured an interview with a survivor of Hurricane Katrina. We traveled to Lucedale, Mississippi, a small community on the eastern side of that state. Brethren volunteers rebuilt a home that was severely damaged by blown down trees. It's worth a look back at what many have recently faced, as hurricanes have once again continued to destroy many communities in the South and the Gulf Coast.
Right now we have Brent Carlson, who's from the Portland Peace Church of the Brethren, and he's in Lucedale, Mississippi, currently with the family having breakfast at a McDonald's restaurant. Hello, Brent.
Hello, Rachel. I'm here this morning in Lucedale, Mississippi with Bo Clark. He's one of the local people and went through Katrina hurricane and has quite a story to tell. He was a little north of here when the storm broke out, and he got very busy, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Very busy. We was I was up north of where my girlfriend lives at in Bay Springs, Mississippi, and we really didn't expect the storm to be as bad as it was going to be. I knew that it was going to be a pretty bad storm, but then all of a sudden it got worse over 12 hours or more of a wind and down trees and all, and we all got blocked in. And that night, I was not able to get back to where my mother and daddy lived here in Lucedale and where my children lived at. So I stayed over to the next morning till 6 o'clock. And next morning, I took the fire saw and started cutting my way out and got out onto the main highway where the states were already cutting the roads out. And I made it home. And
Back down here?
Yeah, back to Lucedale.
How long did it take you?
About 3 hours. It's an hour drive. It took me about 3 hours to get back here longer. But once I got here, and I realized everything, what it was like. I mean, it was terrible. Everywhere I seen, people's houses were demolished, trees were everywhere, and people was just in chaos. They didn't know what to do, you know. and I got
Some roofs were blown off.
Oh yeah, roofs, house tops. I'm talking about it's just no porches and nothing like that, all left and everything. So I knew that nobody had no electricity. When I got home, I knew my mother didn't have no electricity. My daughter, none of my sons. I have 2 sons that works for me. I own a construction company. I just shut it down. I shut down. I took off to Atlanta. First thing I done, I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and it was about an 8-hour drive. Right, and I went up there and bought all the generators I could find up there and began to come back and finding the elder people that didn't have electricity and was just, like I said, they was devastated. They had never been through nothing like this. And so I just went and started giving generators, just giving them to people, and then giving them gas. I bought gas, and I really didn't think about how much gas I needed to get when I got, so I realized I didn't have enough for gas. And for 7 days, for 7 or 8 days, I run backwards and forwards to Atlanta, to Eastman, Georgia, to Birmingham, to Montgomery, buying gas and generators, and just continue supplying people. I just was on a steady run.
Did you make a round trip every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
16, 14, 16 hours a day.
I didn't even sleep. My family, my children even got worried about me. They would call and talk to me on the phone and plead with me, Daddy, slow down. So I said, hey, this is something I got to do. I feel like I need to do this. And because there was people that I'm talking about, even like I say, a lot of elderly people, they were panicking, and they were, they was in a stage they had never seen before. And I sit back, a lot of them depression days years ago, but that wasn't nothing like what was going on. And their homes were damaged, and there were a lot of homes I would go and help and just, take care of, help get their roof patches and help put plastic on their roofs and stuff to make them feel more secured and everything. But it was devastating. It was one. I tell you, I'm 50 years old. I have never seen anything like this in my life. I've been all over the world doing tornado work and hurricane work stuff, and I have never saw nothing like this here before.
How long was it before the power and the electricity and the water came back?
It was 7 days here. It was. I know at Bay Springs it was 2 weeks. I think it was 6. Yeah, right. It was weeks. It was weeks before we got power back up here. It was weeks before we got back up.
They have 4 sites on this project currently under construction. One is behind me. This is the home of Mrs. Cleta Brax. During the Katrina hurricane, a big tree fell into her house, and the rains came, and most of the possessions in the rooms that were exposed to the rain were ruined, and the house has had to be rebuilt. She went for about a year trying to get some help, and finally connected with the Church of the Brethren Disaster Services, and they've been working on this project for about 2 months. I'm going to walk over to the tree that blew down, and of course at this point it's been cut down, and you can see it's about 3 feet in diameter. It's a huge tree. Looks like it might have been an oak tree. And behind me you can see the new construction and the eaves of the house where the tree came down, and the whole roof has been rebuilt. I understand you were actually not home when Katrina came through.
No, I wasn't. I was living with my niece the day of Katrina.
And you were getting ready to move into this house when the hurricane struck.
I was getting ready to move in a week prior, to Katrina, and I didn't move in because of Katrina.
Now, what happened the day to your house, the day of Katrina? What happened that prevented you from moving in? Because you still haven't moved in yet.
No, I haven't. Because prior to Katrina, a tree fell into the house and destroyed the roof, and water damages was all over the house, and I couldn't move in. They said it was not livable then, so I came out and tried to seek help, to get help with the house. And
you've been trying for a year and a half to get some help, and finally, how did you get connected with the Church of the Brethren?
It was an organization called here Disaster Recovery Service, and I knew some ladies that was working with this organization, and she came out and she talked to me, and they came over and looked at the house and everything, and she told me that I can get help. And so the Disaster Recovery Service evaluated me and gave me the okay that someone would be out to help me. And the first group that came was the Church of the Brethren. And as I told you earlier, they was real nice and sweet to me, and I appreciate it.
And how long ago did they start working on your home?
Well, they started working in, it might have been November, if I'm not mistaken. And after then, they laid off for a while, I guess for the holidays or whatever. And then since then, I had a crew to come in last week from Idaho, and they worked all last week, and now you all are here.
So basically the project people have been working on your house for a couple months.
Yes.
And it was a year before you could really get somebody to help you.
Yes. It's just real slow around here in this small town, but I think things are going to be better now since Katrina, and they seeing that people need help. I think things are going to get better around here.
And you've been living with different friends and relatives?
Mm-hmm. I've been living with a friend girl of mine, and after I moved out with her, I moved in with my sister and her kids, and she have 3 grown kids and 4 small kids living in a 3-bedroom home, so it's kind of tight there, but I'm making it until I can get all things straightened out.
Okay, Cleta, tell us what's going on. What's happening in the front room?
The house was damaged. This used to be the living room, the living room here.
And this is where a tree came down.
This is where the tree came down and just demolished the roof. It was a wall right here, and it was a bedroom right here. And there was a wall right there, and this was a second bedroom right here, but it was a door in the hallway right there. So what I did, I just knocked this wall out and converted it to one whole big room. So it would be my living area and my dining area here. And I made this second bedroom into my kitchen. And I'm going to keep my whole bath right here. That's be my guest bathroom here.
Okay, so this is going to be your guest bathroom. Now, is this original tub and toilet as before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everything else is out.
Yes.
Down to the walls.
Down to the walls.
So new wallboard, a new enclosure for the bathtub and shower, and new cabinets and.
Yeah, they said they was gonna put all that in here.
And then the kitchen was over here?
The kitchen was right there. And what I did, I just converted this into my master bedroom. And
that's going to be a bathroom?
That's going to be my bath. This is going to be my bedroom here. This is going to be my bathroom. I'm going to have my closet and my linen closet in there. And
it looks like there's going to be a bathtub and
a vanity, and a laboratory in here. Okay. Mm-hmm. This was my mother's room right here, and I'm converting it. This is going to be my daughter's and the baby's room whenever we move in. And my mom always slept back here, and her and my father. And it looked totally different now.
What's amazing to me is how organized the Church of the Brethren is in their disaster response. And even though we're a very small denomination as compared with many others, the ministries that are performed via the disaster reconstruction is just outstanding. The people, the equipment, the housing, the food, just everything about how these projects are set up just continues to amaze me at how well it's done.
Thank you.
But it's a blessing, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you volunteers so much. There's really no real word to say, but just thank God for y'all.
What an amazing story about what one person can do. Hearing that story is really inspiring, and it takes the efforts of so many people to assist the rebuilding of a community. For those of us in the United States, we often take education for granted. However, for so many people on this earth, going to school is a special privilege and a transforming activity. It gives children and families a pathway to having food on the table and money for life-giving medicines. It makes sustainable lives possible. New Community Project and their program, Give a Girl a Chance, has provided girls of the southern African country of Malawi bikes to get to high school, which is often miles from home. Education is not a high priority given to many girls in the world. And as a result, many are forced to go to big cities, leading to sex trafficking or early marriage. For those needing to go a long distance, a bicycle can be very helpful, and it can be provided for a $65 contribution. This allows a girl of high school age to get to school. And in 2014, New Community Project also provided school money to build a boarding school at Queensland where over 600 girls attend. Their women's group is working against gender violence in South Sudan and promoting women's involvement in peace building and development. Microloans and skills training are also being provided. The girls have said, with your help, we are like birds learning to fly.
So blue, shades of green, death of death, things unseen, pen with ink, pages wide, faithful test by fireside. And am I alone in the mysterious unknown, with the seeds of doubt planted in my mind? Make me a heart of gold, make me white as snow. And the shadows and their countrymen gladly take me by the hand. They'll tell me where to go through the darkest of my soul.
A third option for an alternative Christmas gift is Heifer International. With its origin 75 years ago, through the insight of Dan West and members of the Church of the Brethren, Heifer has been providing sustainable livelihoods to millions around the globe. Heifer International is currently working in 21 countries with local farmers and business owners. Heifer supports farmers and their communities as they mobilize and envision their futures, providing training so that they can improve the quantity and quality of the goods they produce. Networks connect farmers to markets, thereby increasing sales and incomes. Giving an animal is like providing someone a small business, providing wool, milk, eggs, and more. Animal donations can provide families a hand up, increasing access to medicine, school, food, and sustainable livelihoods. Empowering women has been effective in assisting families to greater stability. A wonderful example of this has occurred in Nepal, where women's groups provide empowerment to individuals, leading to greater economic stability.
Reaching across century-old caste boundaries, a community organizer named Sita Pudel and some women from her community came to the lower caste village of Belsi in southern Nepal as part of a remarkable effort to end poverty by empowering poor, illiterate women.
हाम्रो पहिला चाहिँ सीता म्याडमहरु आउँदा कस्तो फोर्स हो त्यो नाक छोपेर यस्तो गरेर आउनु देखाउनु यस्तो पुरा यस्तो गरेर यस्तो साडी उचालेर यस्तो गरेर आको गनाएर
From their experience in other countries, heifer field workers had discovered that just giving animals wasn't enough. So they began to consider another idea, combining the donation of animals with training, and giving the training to small groups of women who could then help their entire community.
पहिला जस्तै हामी यो अब समूह गठन नहुँदैसम्म हामी एकअर्कामा बोल्न पनि त्यति साह्रै हुन्थेन हामी समूहमा बसिसकेपछि हामीले एकअर्कामा आफ्नो घरमा उब्जिएको सामानहरु बाडी चुडी भोग्दा भन्ने जस्तै बाडी चुडी खान लाग्यो अनि हामी काम गर्दाखेरि संयुक्त रूपमा हामीले काम गर्छौं हामी सबै मिलेर पहिला एकै गर्न पर्थ्यो भने अहिले संयुक्त मिलेर गरेपछि एकदम राम्रो लाग्छ
हैन अनि पछिबाट त अनि तालिम पाइसकेपछि भएपछि थिएन है अनि त म त एउटा पाडी किन्छु समूहबाट दिन लिएर पनि पाडी किन्छु भने हैन अनि पाडी पनि आफै हेर्न गए अनि पाडी पनि लिएर आए आफैले
पहिला मैले माइतामा हुँदाखेरि नि मेरो हजुरबा हजुरआमाले के भन्नुभयो भने छोरीलाई पढाएर काम छैन भनेर मलाई स्कुल जान दिनु भएन मेरो भाइले चाहिँ बोर्डिङ स्कुलमा पहिला पनि पुलचोक बोर्डिङ स्कुलमा गाडी घरमै आउँथे लिनलाई अनि गाडीमा पठाउनु भयो मैले पढ्न पाइन
यो मेरो चाहिँ पुरानो घर हो यो चाहिँ मेरो समूहमा बसेपछि मैले बाख्रा पालन गरेर भैँसी पालन गरेर र श्रीमानको कमाई र घरको पुरै क्षेत्रको आमदानी गरेर मैले चाहिँ यो घर बनाएको हुँ समूहको पैसा लिएर
यति गते भन्नेदेखि यो 22 गते भनेर त्यो गते तोकेको दिनदेखि नै एकदम खुसी लाग्यो हामीले पनि अब आफूले उपहार पायौं दिन पाएका थिएन हामीले दिने दिन पनि आइपुगेछ है भनेर अति खुसी लाग्यो
एकदम रमाइलो लाग्यो नि अब भनौं न उपहार पाउँदा त नरमाइलो मान्ने त कुरै भएन है
पहिला हामी ममा यस्तो थियो कि म यो कुलैलाई दिन्न यो बरु सरेरै जाओस् बरु खालिदिन्छु यसलाई त्यस्तो लाग्थ्यो भनेदेखि अहिले चाहिँ केही थोक छ भनेदेखि थोरै भए पनि एक दाना भए पनि बरु साथीलाई दिउँ जस्तो लाग्छ ममा भएको चाहिँ परिवर्तन जस्तो कि म र मेरो भन्ने भावना पुरै घटेर ममा चाहिँ हाम्रो भावना पालन चाहिँ भइसकेको छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई
राम्रोसँग दिनुभयो हामीले पनि एकदम खुसी साथले अब यसलाई हामी केही यो भाडा हामी अब पाठीहरू धेरै जन्माएर हामीले पनि अरूलाई दिन
भनौँ न एउटा चाहिँ अब मैनबत्तीको त्यो मुनि चाहिँ अँध्यारो भाग हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो अँध्यारो भागमा थियौँ भने अहिले चाहिँ त्यो मैनबत्तीको उज्यालो भागमा हामी पुगे जस्तो पनि हामीलाई फिल हुन्छ एकदम खुसी लाग्छ एकदम खुसी
There you have it, 3 suggestions for an alternative Christmas gift for folks who really can use some assistance this Christmas season. Brethren Disaster Ministries, New Community Project with Give a Girl a Chance, as well as Helper International. For those who have everything they need this Christmas season, maybe an alternative Christmas gift would be appreciated in the name of that someone on your Christmas list who has everything. This is Brent Carlson, one of Santa's helpers, for Brethren Voices, wishing you peace and joy this Christmas season.
Jesus way,
oh, the Jesus way
is the way of peace.
Is the way of peace.
Oh, the Jesus way is the way of peace. When he is king, all wars will cease. May his peace begin with me. Gonna beat my sword,
Gonna beat my sword
into a plow.
into a plow.
Gonna beat my sword,
Gonna beat my sword
into a plow.
into a plow.
Gonna beat my sword into a plow. Christ is king in my life now. May his peace begin with me.
The crew from the Northwest District, Washington, Oregon, have been working on Mrs. Kalita Brack's house for a week. So you've become an expert?
No. Just beginning to develop a few skills.
But you're doing the mudding and the taping, is that correct?
Right, been doing some taping, and that comes first, and then the mudding, and hide the tape, and supposed to make the drywallers look good, because you cover all their mistakes, but doesn't always happen.
You also, I believe, have been installing metal stripping for the
Yes,
corner?
yeah, we had to do the metal stripping first, nail that up, and then mud over it. So
all right.
Make a nice finish it.
Very good. It's taking shape. It's this is almost done.
Well, we're getting close. Yeah.
And once the sheetrocking is done, then they can start with the painting and the finish work. And this is obviously a work in progress. There was quite a few groups came in before us. There'll be quite a few groups coming in after us to finish Mrs. Kalita Brack's house. And she's been very nice to come over and check with us and encourage us every day. And we're just so happy that we can say we accomplished something here and did some good in Lucedale, Mississippi.